played at all this year, only 14 minutes against Marshall, but he's a key member of this team. 6 goals, 5 assists last year, so a big-time boost for Pitt there in the front of their attack.
Pitt getting some attackers back. Howard been a little lackluster on the attack so far this season. No goals for them in their first 2 contests. They'll look to some familiar faces to try to give their offense a jolt.
Yeah, only 6 shots a game for Howard this year, but Bryson Baker is back. He was their team's leading goal scorer, 5 goals last year, 4 shots this year. That does lead the team. Again, just not a lot of production there. But also Samuel Adeji is back, and he had 4 goals last year. So there are some goal producers on this team still that they're going to need to rely upon, and those are the 2 guys that they'll rely upon to give their production.
Looks like we're getting set to go here, just waiting for the whistle. Looks like Walty will start things off for the Panthers. This is a bit of a cool-down matchup for the Panthers. They've started their season with 3 opponents ranked within the top 11.
Yeah, and they win that emotional backyard brawl here at home. Beat Georgetown, who at that time was ranked number 2 in the nation. Beat number 6 West Virginia, then go down to Huntington to face Marshall, number 11 Marshall. Lose that game 2-1 in pretty tough fashion, but they have been through adversity thus far. This is a battle-tested team. Got ACC play coming up next, but first a cool-down game against Howard. And probably one they needed, to be quite frank with you, Kyle.
Looks like we're about to get underway, just waiting for the whistle. Not sure exactly what the delay is. Might be having some problems with the scoreboard at the venue.
There we go. The clock in the stadium was not set.
There's the whistle. Howard immediately pressing forward, trying to create problems for Pitt.
This is something you'll see Howard do. They create a lot of pressure. They're not just going to sit back and let Pitt attack them. They're going to bring the attack to them. They're going to be physical. They're going to bury their shoulder into Pitt's chest, but already
nice
a chance.
Through ball by Valentin Noel. Cross to the middle, in the area is Feitosa. Looking for Noel in the middle. Shot saved by J.R. Gowell.
Gowell, a freshman here for Howard. Didn't really know who was going to start in goal yet. They've gone back between Gal and Benjamin Hosley. But Gal seems to have that job right now, and here they are on the attack.
Howard attacking, balls turned over by Mason Christian, played back to Vandersar, who clears the threat for Pitt. But Howard does get possession back. Mirkovic already making his presence known with a takeaway right there.
They just have so much more flexibility with Feitosa and Mirkovic in there. It's 2 great ball pressers that can create a lot of pressure through the midfield and easily get the ball into the offensive zone to create opportunities near the net.
Pitt playing from the back. Howard not allowing a lot of space as Pitt tries to work up to the midfield.
It's going to be a real test of endurance here for Howard. They're going to play aggressive man defense today. They're going to try and match Pitt athletically. Not many teams can do that, but it's probably going to be Howard's best chance of maybe creating go-away opportunities the other way.
Good takeaway by Howard. That was number 18, but Pitt does get the ball back. Feitosa plays out to Jacquesson, his first touch of the day. And dispossessed by Howard coming up the edge. And that'll get called every time. Little jersey tug by Jacquesson. And Howard playing back to the keeper.
Can already tell Howard coming out here with a little bit of fire, not making anything easy for Pitt. Pitt's had a few opportunities down in the zone already, but Howard's flying around right now, and Pitt's going to have to be careful with the ball. Howard's pretty athletic.
In the last couple minutes, seeing a lot of long through balls. That last couple possessions just went straight from Howard's goal to Pitt's goal. Now back for a goal kick again for the Bison.
To be fair, Pitt has been so good at those through balls thus far this year. Guys like Berton, Jacasson, Mirkovic now back in.
Yeah, they already had a good chance with Feitosa earlier in the match.
And again, Feitosa coming off a year where he had 5 goals and 6 assists. So we're talking about an uber productive player, both as a passer and as a finisher at the net.
Free kick for Pitt here. Looks as though there may have been a foul. Abelnati looking up to Guilherme Feitosa, plays it through in the corner to Jacasson. Looking back to Feitosa, who's going to play in across to Noel, but it's just in front of him and gobbled up by Gao.
Yeah, they're going to run up a lot of those plays to Valentin Noel. 3 goals in 3 games. He has a goal in each of those games on the Mac Herman Award watch list, of course. One of the best goal scorers in the country, let alone the ACC.
Gao skied that punt and actually lost his shin guard. Got it far enough away that he does get it back. And here's Walty on the attack for Pitt. Plays it out to the edge and back to Walty. And Pitt will reset on the attack.
You can see Pitt actually playing it up their right side a little bit more, away from Jacasson, which is a very interesting strategy to come out with.
And looking to Mirkovic a lot as here's an opportunity for the Panthers. Passed out and not quite able to get there was Lucas Rosa, trying to get across, but the ball was just in front of him. And it looks like someone might have lost a shin guard again. There's something red sitting over behind the goal. We'll monitor that development as the Howard keeper can't seem to keep his shin guard in his sock. Pitt takes the ball off of the goal kick. And here's Mirkovic, has found himself very busy in his first game back from illness.
And you can always see why he is so trusted by Jay Vidovic and his staff. How quick he is. Really, that was another good ball there by Walty up to the edge of the box. And you could just see how good of a passing team Pitt is. Very unselfish. They create opportunities, and the better thing is in space, these attackers, these midfielders, the forwards, they know how to cut, where to cut, and feed off their great passers. It's a very high IQ team.
First corner of the match going to be taken by Mirkovic. Resets the ball, and here's the whistle again. Played in over the head of Feitosa and headed out by the Howard defense. Ball will stay at this end on a Pitt throw.
Pitt only with 2 shots thus far, about 6 minutes in, but both of those on goal, and that has been pretty on par for what Pitt's done thus far this year. 14 shots a game in those 3 ranked matchups, but over half of those have been on average on net. So Pitt's been a consistently good shooting team, and when they get the opportunities, they usually don't miss. It's usually right on net, and they make the goalie work for it. It's led to a lot of goals and opportunities for them.
A very efficient shooting team are the Panthers. This one's played back out to Rosa. Plays across to Jacasson. Hits it off the wrong part of his head, but he does keep the ball. Playing it in the area was Noel, but knocked away by the keeper. Danger's not clear, though. Here's Abelnati. Plays over towards Lucchini, but it is taken away by Howard.
Tell you what,
threat cleared for now.
That was a high IQ play by the goalkeeper, J.R. Gao, right there. Jacasson was trying to get it across in front of the net. That would have been an easy goal if Gao didn't come out aggressively and play it that way. And that's a good feel. Pitt likes to do that a lot, where they come in close down in the box and they set up the guy on the other side. It's a Jay Vidovic staple there, but a phenomenal play there by the goalkeeper in Gao.
Yeah, that was Valentin Noel in front of the goal. He's had a couple of those opportunities already in this game. Has scored in each of the first 3 matches for the Panthers. Cleared out by Gilman. Throw for Howard as they get their first extended action in the offensive zone. but it's taken away by Feitosa. Now here's Pitt on the counter. Noel playing a through ball to Jacasson, but it will be taken away.
And so it's kind of interesting what Howard's doing right now. Started off the game playing really up on Pitt, and then on that offensive possession, instead of sending an all-out blitz, they actually played back on their heels. Pitt clearly affecting them with the attack.
Here's Mirkovic, dummy by Feitosa. Here's Jacasson, curls one off the post. Danger is just now cleared. That was a great high IQ play by Feitosa. There was nobody even near Jacasson.
And again, Feitosa is such a wizard in the way he gets his passes off, and he has an art of deception to him. And then Jacasson Jacasson just tapped that ball and nearly curled it in. You're looking at highly skilled players right there, and Feitosa is such a young player, only a sophomore. That's exciting stuff. And again, this is his first real game back. He played 14 minutes against Marshall, but this is the first real game for Guilherme Feitosa. You can see why Jay Vidovich is so high on him.
Free kick taken up by Alex Taylor. Someone trying to get ahead on it, and there is a foul called. Free kick is going to go to Pitt. Vandersar motioning towards the sideline to get someone to look at the downed Panthers.
We have a Panther down there near the net right now, too. Can't see who it is exactly, but
Yeah, it looked like there was also Galeana was laying down initially. He was able to get up. I believe that is Abulnadi slowly jogging off the field.
it's one of the most dangerous plays on the pitch right there where you have a ball.
He is actually not, sorry to cut you off, but he is not going to leave the game, presumably.
And that's a great sign because, again, that's a dangerous play, going up for a ball and heads collide. It happens, unfortunately, a lot in this sport. Good to see everyone okay out of that exchange.
Yeah, Abulnadi just went over to talk to the linesman for a second, but he is back in the game. Pitt on the attack again. Here's Valentin Noel looking for the overlap to Lucchini. Back to Noel. Gets past the defender and is hit. And foul will be called. Pitt going to get a free kick in the offensive third. Noel a little slow to get up.
This is one of those dangerous spots. Not really near the box, but you're in that offensive third to where you can easily set up something with some cutting action here to either side of the net. Really gives a two-way go. So as the goalie, you have to be cognizant of each way.
Absolutely. Mirkovic taking this one again for Pitt. Going to curl it in towards the far post where there's nobody.
And that's the other factor, is that Noel himself is so powerful with his leg that he can make it from that far out. He has that type of power, that kick power that you look for in that accuracy. That one was a little bit off, and you could clearly see they were trying to attack the left side there and get Jacasson set up for something. But that's the type of threat you get with a player like Valentin Noel.
Galvin, a busy man on those goal kicks. Pitt has had so much attacking going on, and here's another one. Cross is going to be played in by Rosa, deflects off a defender, and ultimately cleared away by Alex Taylor. Pitt still on the attack, though. And they're resetting with Galeana. Feitosa tripped up from behind, and Pitt is going to get another set piece in the offensive third. And Nick, it has been almost all-out attack from Pitt. Really, the only action we've seen from Howard is counters. Pitt dominating possession.
But I told you earlier, Howard's going to make them work for it. They're going to play a physical brand soccer right now, and you could see that these fouls are things they'll trade off for because they feel like in set pieces at least they can flow with the movement, because when Pitt gets into space, they're such a dangerous attacking team.
Mirkovic plays in another free kick, harmlessly grabbed by Gal.
And thus far, Pitt just hasn't been able to really figure out that set piece, and that's been an issue for them throughout the last few years. Last year was a little bit of an issue for them too, because Pitt's just a team that's, when they're in space, they're able to create so much separation because of how many good ball pressures they have. And you look at this Pitt midfield, and there's not a weakness in terms of ball pressing ability in that midfield, and that creates so many opportunities. But you got to commend Howard here too.
Yeah, they are so far bending but not breaking at the back.
Sometimes that's all you need. And then one bad pass, a bad turnover can turn into a counterattack. With the right passes, you maybe can get that one-on-one.
We've seen they have been able to quickly get up on a number of occasions, even less than 15 minutes into this match.
That's why we need to play an aggressive, almost man type of defense. You get those opportunities.
Here's Lucas Rosa looking for Feitosa on the through ball, but it's intercepted. And Howard, as we were just saying, trying to put together a counterattack, but Jackson Walty is able to clear the trouble. Captain of this Pitt team.
Yeah, and Walty's almost hybriding as a defender midfielder right now. Kind of just hanging back a little bit.
Through ball to Mirkovic is too far. Gobbled up by the keeper again. But Pitt still continuing to apply pressure. Here's Mirkovic over to Feitosa. Looking back to the middle. Had a lane to Valentin Noel, but a foot got in the way. And Pitt goes to play from the back again.
You could see Pitt rotating Walty up into that central midfield spot. He's kind of like the architect, the quarterback, if you will, of this Pitt attack. There's a reason he's the captain.
Here's a look at a counter by Howard. Taken by Galliani. And Howard is going to try again to play from the back here. Jacquesson with a long pass over to the wing, played into the middle where there are no attackers. And again, Howard is going to have a de facto goal kick.
And you can see Pitt's trying to attack that right side. Clearly they've identified a mismatch they like on that side with Mirkovic, and they're trying to use it to work back to the other side and get Noel coming down from the middle. But thus far, Howard's been sticky and kind of stopping that, and now they're going to go to the left side and see what Jacquesson can do.
Typically, you see Pitt work through Jacquesson, who tries to use his speed to get around the edge, but is going to give another goal kick.
And you got some, you got Rosa, Mirkovic, Lucchini over on that side. Pitt trying to work out a few things after they tried to work through Jacquesson against Marshall, and they really did well on that left side. Marshall did in defending
This
Jacquesson.
one's played up to Oladeji, who gets a nice bounce. Howard with an opportunity to cross here. Plays it in, and it is cleared away by Gilman. Crowd calling for a yellow, but referee keeps the cards in his pocket.
And Howard's perfectly content with sitting back and letting Pitt attack. I mean, Pitt's had ball possession for most of this first half through the first 16 minutes of this game. But Howard gets those counterattacks, and every now and then, you never know, maybe you crack the code and get one in the back of the net. And that's going to be Howard's formula to maybe pulling off an upset and staying in this game.
Yeah, you just saw that right there with Oladeji. One of the leading scorers from this Howard team last year had the ball in space by himself in the attacking third. Here's another set piece for Pitt. This one played in towards the near post. Jacquesson is going to have a chance for a half volley. It's deflected, and Pitt's going to get another corner.
And if you're Pitt, you take that because that's a good opportunity where you nearly had an opportunity for, quite honestly, maybe your best passer in the box to make something happen. Howard's essentially bending but not breaking. This is a very tenuous position to be in if you are Howard.
First corner we've seen from this side for Pitt. Played on the near post and cleared away. Now coming on the counter is Oladeji. No one in the goal for Pitt. It's tapped up, and Van der Sar is going to hold this, so a bit of a scare for Pitt there. Never a position that you want to be in with your keeper outside of the box.
No, but
and no one in the goal.
But a heck of that.
But ultimately
play
clears the trouble.
That was an unbelievable play, though, on the right side. You're not going to see many better plays there than the one Jackson Gilman just made. When Van der Sar tried to play that aggressively and nearly allowed a goal right there, Gilman with great awareness to come back and tap that out.
Ramesses Gaines just picked up a yellow card after hitting Jacquesson along the left wing.
Again, dangerous scenario here for Howard to have a free kick from right here, right outside the box. You can do so many different things here.
Yeah, this is the first set piece we've seen in this kind of position for Pitt. They have had a lot so far.
They have, and again, that's what Howard's kind of playing with. They're playing with fire, with that physical style, because, yeah, you might wear down Pitt, but you also could get a yellow in a set piece this close. It's a tough one to swallow.
Plays it into the back post, headed away, and ultimately cleared by Nathan Leggett.
I do think it does tell you, though, that Howard head coach Philip Joe had a lot of confidence in what his team can do on the defensive end. And again, their strength hasn't been offense. This year, last year, it hasn't been. They don't have a goal yet this year. They only average 6 shots per game. They know how they can win the game, and that's by making this an ugly physical brawl. And that's what they're trying to do right now, but this is wide open.
Pitt gets a through ball. Valentin Noel tries to get fancy and get around the keeper. Ultimately cleared away. Pitt's going to have a throw near the corner, but again, Howard bending but not breaking.
Yeah, it felt like one maybe Noel could have, shot a little bit earlier, but
looked like he tried to dribble around the keeper.
It did, and that obviously would have given him a wide open shot. But when the keeper's coming out that aggressively, if you're Valentin Noel,
here's Pitt on the attack again, looking for Jacquesson. Mirkovic is going to take it near midfield.
Pitt up to 5 shots thus far to Howard's 1. 3 corners and another foul. And this is
another foul. That's
the 6th foul for Howard.
That's going to be Leggett picking up second yellow card of the match for Howard, his first. Things getting a little chippy out there.
They are, and you can see Pitt, I think, starting to figure out this Howard zone just a little bit. They're inching all the so closer to cracking this code, and these set pieces are actually helping destabilize the formations that Howard runs on the back end in the box.
Pitt picks up another loose ball, passing around the back.
You can see
that's one thing we've seen a lot of today is Pitt has been on those loose balls.
They have. They've been around the loose balls. They've been able to work through the back, and you can see Howard not even really playing for those loose balls. I mean, look at how many bodies for Howard are in the offensive third, and that's just because of how dangerous Pitt's midfielders are and the pressure they can put on them. They are selling out to not allow the goal.
Feitosa plays one up to Valentin Noel, but it is well defended by Jackson Lewis. Danger not clear yet, though, as another corner, 4th corner of the match for Pitt, we're only just over 20 minutes in, and already 4 for the Panthers.
It averages about 6 corners a game, so on pace to easily break that average. But
That one's played toward the middle and out to Oladeji. This one is going to stay down at this end. Looked to me like it hit Abelnadi's foot, but not to the linesman. Pitt maintains possession.
again, here's Pitt working through that left side. We've seen that a little bit more here. After about the first 12 minutes, they worked almost exclusively through the right.
A little miscommunication there by Pitt, and Howard with an opportunity to counter. Oladeji's on the edge.
Stuff like that, Feitosa just getting a foot on that. And now you allow Walty to work from that central midfield and pick a direction, and here they come up the right side again.
We've seen so much of that in the early going for Pitt.
And again, Walty's kind of the point guard of this whole thing.
Yeah, Walty's finding himself everywhere.
He's been playing almost that hybrid role where at times he's almost functioning as that center back, but he's playing up in that center midfield, and he's the one that's corralled a lot of these loose balls that end up aimlessly around the circle, and it's really allowed Pitt to keep the pressure on here.
Pass is a little too slow, picked off by Lewis, but dispossessed by Jacquesson. Looking for a friendly face to pass to. Pitt looks like they might be working up that right side again. Played over to Mirkovic. Puts one in the direction of Noel, but he is fouled. And I'm sounding like a broken record, but another set piece for Pitt. And another yellow card for Howard. This one is going to go on Jelani Pierre.
Not
for sticking his foot in front of a free kick from about 2 feet away.
Yeah, and I'll say this, 23 minutes into a match, not very often you see one team with 3 yellow cards already. But that's the style that Howard has put themselves to today. They're going to play physical, and they're going to force Pitt to work through that physicality.
This one played in by Mirkovic, looking to... Jackson Gilman just missed on the head.
And a great, great pass there by Mirkovic. You can see why Pitt loves having him be that main distributor, bringing it up the right side. Just a little bit wide by Gilman.
Yeah, but credit to Howard. That's really the first good opportunity we've seen for Pitt since Valentin Noel was one-on-one with the keeper.
It was, and that's also Howard's style of play working right now. I think that, yeah, they're getting called for a lot of fouls, and yeah, they have 3 yellows, but
Feitosa plays up to Jacquesson, who's...
I mean, look at how scrappy they're playing right now. It's not easy for Jacquesson just to get an easy crosser or a through ball.
Jackson Lewis has been able to keep up the pace, as here's a good opportunity for Howard.
And
good sweeper-keeper action from Van der Sar.
From the Nico Campuzano school of goalkeeping right there. That's a classic play that the old Pitt goalkeeper Campuzano last year would have done. And Van der Sar is getting him into some dangerous territory, though, on these counterattacks. He's got a little bit of support on the back end, but Pitt's playing up right now, and one of those counterattacks goes the wrong way. One of those aggressive plays by Van der Sar could easily go the wrong way.
Yeah, it's high risk, high reward goalkeeping. That was Jacquesson with a mental mishap. Just misplayed that one.
And these team strategies largely kind of go with each other. Pitt's thinking they possess the ball enough. They're talented ball pressers and passers, and obviously goal scorers will eventually crack through. But if you're Howard, you're also saying, yeah, we'll play on our heels a little bit, but we'll bring the fight to you if you are in our zone, and maybe one of those counterattacks will break through. And that's kind of what's driving this game right now. It's an ugly mess with Pitt largely dominating the ball possession.
This one is crossed in by Lucchini, out for a goal kick. And going with what you were saying earlier, that's led to some fun one-on-one matchups with Howard just allowing Pitt to attack on them. Jacquesson versus Jackson Lewis has been a disappointment television thus far.
It has, and I'll tell you what, I think that Howard head coach Philip Joe will tell you this is exactly what he wanted it to be. He wanted it to be physical, and yeah, you understand that Pitt's going to attack you, but clearly he has a lot of, I think, confidence in his guys out there to go one-on-one with some of these very talented Pitt attackers, and so far they're sticking right with it. They're playing good team defense, giving help when need be.
That was a good interception by Queeland to start the attack for Howard. Pitt defense gets the ball back.
The one thing missing with Howard right now is their transition passing has really not been there yet. They haven't been able to set themselves up for that one pass and that one shot that can maybe give them that opportunity. I think that's the final piece of the puzzle that Howard needs right now on those counterattacks. If they can get that one transition pass that can open things up, maybe they can get that one opportunity they need.
Pressure applied by Howard. That was Jordan Julian getting right up in the face of Vandersar, making him get rid of the ball quickly.
They're almost double-teaming the guys in the back right now, not letting Pitt just sit back and aimlessly wander up the pitch. And here goes Pitt pushing it a little bit. Tempo's been as much of a factor as anything in this game. Pitt slowed it down a little bit after starting out a little hot, and now they're pushing it a little bit more.
Mirkovic plays a through ball to Feitosa, who shoots. It's saved by the keeper, but he was offsides anyway. Again, really nice play by Gowell to hit that one away. He could have shot or he could have passed.
Talk about a true freshman right here in J.R. Gowell, and he's stepping up to the test of the number 2 team in the nation. I mean, we're not talking about just any old team here. Gowell's only played in 2 career games here at the collegiate level, and certainly an impressive showing thus far for the freshman.
Won't get credit for a save on that, but really he should because it was a great play.
Amazing play. And I know that it would have been called dead regardless, but just look at the eyes of Gowell. He's tracking it the whole way, and he's getting himself into the best position possible to make these saves. It's all because of those disciplined eyes of a goalkeeper that you absolutely need.
Back out to Jacquesson on the edge, misses the foot of Feitosa, and the danger is cleared. That one was played up in the direction of Rufiel. Through ball to Jacquesson. He'll fake the cross and reset. Played back to Mirkovic, who's looking for someone to pass to. Through ball to Feitosa in the offensive zone. He'll shoot. It's saved by Gowell again. He's playing the game of his life back here in these first 30 minutes.
Tell you what, he's got some lightning quick reflexes on him because that was a bullet right in his face, and he got his hands up. That takes some real quick hand-eye coordination if you're a goalie.
Howard setting up a counter, but possession was lost by Julian.
Tell you what has really impressed me about Gowell too, it's his feet. He's got great feet right now.
Correction, there was a handball called on Abelnati, so Howard is going to have a set piece with an opportunity to maybe put one on goal.
And this is something we have not seen thus far. So now Howard gets an opportunity to maybe dial up a play and get something on net. Let's see if Joe Vandersar can rise to that occasion.
Bryson Baker going to take the free kick. Such a critical piece of this Howard team. But he'll be the one taking the kick. Plays it in on the near side. Popped back up. Half volley goes nowhere. But here's Baker again. Danger not quite cleared. Crossed into the far post. Headed away. And Walty able to redirect it for a throw rather than a corner. Good play by the Pitt captain.
Yeah, that's why he's a high IQ player out there. Jackson Walty always makes the smart play. Understands, yeah, Howard might still keep it in attack a little bit, but we'll bend and not break too.
Howard gets an opportunity in the corner. Cut back. Deflected away by Walty for a throw. That was Rufiel on the corner. And Howard getting an opportunity to slow things down for really the first time.
Yeah, this is the first sustained ball possession we've seen from Howard. They're trying
At least in the offensive zone.
Absolutely. And they're trying to attack, but Pitt right back on it.
Nice pass by Mirkovic to Feitosa. Looks back on that wing. Played in the direction of Jacquesson. And there's something going on around midfield. Looks like there may have been some jawing at the officials.
So Pitt might get a free kick here.
Not sure exactly what happened there. Did you catch that?
I have. So they're going to keep going here. They're discussing it right on the right side of the field. I think that's Bryson Baker over there talking.
Baker, Alex Taylor still standing by the ref, and Pitt is going to get a free kick. So not sure exactly what the discrepancy was there, but Jackson Gilman.
I think Lucchini wanted to say he took his legs out from under him in transition. That's what led to the bad pass. So there's a foul called on Taylor.
Yeah, going along with the style of play we've seen from Howard, you are going to get a lot of fouls of that nature. This one played back to Van der Sar. Pressure applied again by Howard. They are not letting up. They're counting on him missing one of those touches.
I'll tell you what, Jordan Julian is just flying around the field in the back half right now for Howard and making sure that Pitt can't sit back.
Here's Jacquesson on the left wing playing back into Feitosa. Looking for a pass. This one goes to Mirkovic, who nearly loses possession out of bounds but saves it back to Jacquesson.
Great play by Mirkovic to save that possession.
Yeah, wonderful sliding touch. Goes back to Mirkovic in the middle. Looking for a through ball. Resets to Rosa. And bad pass is intercepted by Bryson Baker, but bad pass by Baker goes right back to Pitt.
Yeah, Lucchini up there on that right side getting a lot of action here from Pitt.
And this one played out to Rosa. Double give and go action is intercepted. As Howard tries to put together another counterattack, but Pitt plays it back to Van der Sar, and here's Julian again sprinting right at the keeper. It's been one of the more fun parts of this match. Anytime Van der Sar gets the ball, there's a Howard player right in his face.
Yeah, Howard's done some rotation, too, on that back half, and that's allowed them to stay a little bit fresher. Julian's only been in this game for about 8 minutes, and you can see him playing with that hot motor, making sure that Pitt can't sit back. They're content with letting Pitt attack, but Pitt is not going to attack comfortably, and that is really the crux of what their plan is. And again, so far, Pitt leads shots 8-1, corners 4-0. You can see that, but it's
nothing
worked
on the scoreboard.
As long as those double zeros are on the scoreboard or Howard takes the lead, I think you're going to be very happy if you're Howard.
Pitt looking to switch fields, ends up staying on that right side. Here's Lucchini looking for a cross, plays it in the direction of Jacquesson, but it's intercepted. And Howard clears it out, kept in. And Howard with a 3-on-3 here, looking to get some numbers.
Again, the transition passing, it's improved here. Here's an opportunity.
Here's Rufiel. Ball's taken away by Rosa in that back half, but probably the best opportunity we've seen from Howard in transition just came right there.
Yeah, and Pitt's done a nice job of transition defense. I think that's been a big factor too. Howard's had opportunities, but they've never had a dangerous opportunity per se, because Pitt's defensemen right now are playing disciplined in transition and disrupting the flow of those passing lanes for Howard.
Jacquesson going to play it towards Mirkovic, but it's headed away. Noel looking for a through ball. Now he'll shoot himself, and it's in!
I think that went
but it might not
the back. Yeah.
Did it hit the...
That was a weird one. I don't know if...
I think you're right. It hit the... You must be right, because they're taking a goal kick. It hit the...
I think it hit the back. So I think it curved around the side and somehow struck the back of the.
Yeah, I think it hit the post that the net is tied to keep it up. I'm not the only person who made that mistake. The crowd went wild as well.
Certainly. I mean,
little deceptive angle.
I mean, Noel, Valentin Noel shoots it, and it looks like it goes in. I think most people are going to say, he scored. But definitely a deceptive view from the side. But
that's been the case so far. Valentin Noel with 3 goals in 3 games.
And here's Pitt pushing the tempo. Again, now they're going to try and make Howard match their tempo.
Going to play it in. Here's Feitosa with a pass knocked away, and the play's called offside. Surprising that we haven't seen more offsides against Pitt with the amount of possession they've had up near Howard's goal.
Absolutely. Credit to Pitt, but Howard's playing a really disciplined style right now. Got to improve on the transition passing. Maybe play with a little bit more patience. I know that urgent style, though, on the counterattacks is what they hope leads to goals. But right now, Howard is sticking in there, and there's only about 7 minutes left here, 8 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, we just hit the 37-minute mark, and still zeros on the scoreboard at Ambrose Urbanic Field.
It's a win for Howard every single day, but again, Pitt's trying to push the tempo themselves.
Here's a chance for Pitt. Jacquesson looking for a cross on the corner. It's knocked out, but Pitt going to get their 5th corner of the match here in the 38th minute.
And so you see the tempo change now for Pitt. They were pretty methodical and patient before, and in the last 2 or 3 minutes here, they started to push tempo. They're going to try and break Howard through their own athleticism, and I think that's what Jay Vidovich is trying to figure out right now. Maybe a set piece can lead to that.
Thinking about some adjustments. Corner is played in. Pitt got ahead on it, but the ball does go out for a goal kick. Rain's starting to come down now. That's been in the forecast all day. It was just a matter of when.
Rained earlier today,
you think the weather changes the way either team is playing?
I think it goes right towards what Howard is doing already, right? Because you're playing that physical, nasty style, and so if that happens, well, then Pitt's going to have a tougher time dancing around you as defenders. And so I think that actually plays perfectly into Howard's strategy of making this a sloppy type of game.
Yeah, if you're trying to be disruptive, it helps if the elements are in your favor.
And so Howard, it certainly complicates transitional passing as well on their side of things, but it's going to make Pitt a little bit harder because the more the elements play into it, the sloppier the passes get, the higher likelihood you maybe get for that one breakaway chance at the goal. So certainly, I think it plays into Howard.
Bison with a free kick around midfield, headed away by a Pitt defender. Although Howard does get a nice bounce, and Van der Sar grabs it right before it goes out of bounds for what would have been a corner kick. So Howard, like you said, getting maybe some lucky bounces, but
yeah, look,
they're making them sweat.
Playing 4 up in Pitt's third. They're not trying to take their foot off the gas pedal at all.
And we still got Jordan Julian getting right in Van der Sar's face, forcing him to get that ball out quickly.
And now I almost wonder if you see Pitt change their strategy instead of playing from the sides, which requires more finesse. I wonder if they play through the middle a little bit more and try to just play forward.
This one's played out on the right wing, crossed in, deflected. That ball is gone into the Hill District, but Pitt getting another corner from the right side.
And their 6th corner of the game, so Pitt's had a lot of productivity in getting these opportunities.
Mirkovic plays it in towards the back post, headed away. Walty charging in to try to maintain possession. He does, and it's knocked out of bounds by Howard's Ashley Settles. Here's Feitosa with a turn. Looked like he might shoot, but it's defended well. So it's played back in the direction of Rosa. Valentin Noel backtracking. It's played out to Mirkovic. Takes a shot, and it's just over the bar. So another chance for Pitt, but still zeros on the scoreboard as we hit the 40-minute mark.
And that's been the one thing for Pitt. A lot of their shots have just been sailing a little bit more. And you almost got to wonder if they kind of got lowered a little bit, especially when it's wet. Often you see what they do in, say, the MLS or even the Premier League is in wet weather. They'll shoot a little bit lower because get a little bit more movement, friction on that ball. Can disrupt things for the goalie a little bit.
Yeah,
Got to wonder if Pitt maybe lowers that shot angle a little bit more.
I was going to say one thing that is not going to help with that is the rain right now. It's a moderate rain. It's not pouring, but it's not exactly a drizzle either.
And again, I talk about changing shot angle, but that's a very, very hard skill to master. So when you're seeing it in, say, the Premier League, for example, you're talking about the world's best, and even though these players here at Pitt, very skilled, you don't play it, and you've been playing wet weather a ton. And so it's a tough thing to master because you just don't get to practice in the rain very often, Kyle.
In Pittsburgh, you do. This one's played in the middle.
This summer, it hasn't been too rainy except for the month of August, so hopefully Pitt got a lot of practice during that month.
Here's Bryson Baker trying to set up a counterattack towards Julian, who slips on the turf. And Pitt is going to take it back after the turnover. Mirkovic looking to cross to Feitosa, who heads it in the direction of the goal, but it's just wide. That's a hard one to direct where you want.
It's a hard one, and it also looked like Feitosa overcharged a little bit. I think you saw that through ball coming in, and there was a specific target, and Feitosa's so fast that he, I think, overran it, and it kind of adjusted his angle. You could see him almost bend back to try to get it in.
Yeah, you're never trying to go for the diving header.
Exactly, and so it's the difference of probably 2 inches between off the foot and doing that diving header.
Pitt playing from the back up the right. Through ball to Mirkovic, gets behind his man. He's going to look for a cross here. Some tussling in the box. Plays back to Jackson Walty, who passes up to Noel, goes down in the box, no call. That one looked a little marginal. And Pitt's going to have to try again.
Again, you're starting to see Pitt kind of work through the middle more. And that's going to work with the weather a little bit too. Again, more finesse on the side. So you kind of condense the pitch a little bit. You might be able to get a little bit more opportunities there in the box.
Yeah, and a player that'll have to be a part of that, if that is what Pitt tries to do, is Valentin Noel, who has honestly been pretty quiet today for the Panthers.
He's had opportunities. I mean, he only has 1 shot. But you can see they're working through that middle. It's really been the Feitosa show.
There's a good pass by Noel. Out to the corner, cross in, over his head, but Jacques with a banger! Flying volley for the Frenchman. Gives the Pitt team their first goal of the match just before the half. And the Panthers lead 1-0.
Yeah, the 3rd goal of the year for Bertrand Jacquesson. I mean, what a play there. That's a floating volley where Feitosa could have had it, Jacquesson could have had it. And it just kind of floated over Feitosa's head a little bit. Jacquesson with the beautiful flying kick in.
Yeah, that was not supposed to go to him at all.
That was not. It was a setup for Feitosa in the middle, and I just said it was the Feitosa show. That's 4 shots today. But what an audible by Jacquesson to come in and lay it right off the tip of his foot.
Yeah, on the fly, the flying volley at eye level. I mean, always a fun one to watch.
I mean, that's one as a goalie. It's just so tough to fit in because
you would never see that coming.
Exactly, and you can track the passing lanes and everything. That's the plan there because the plan is to go to Feitosa, and so
you could see Feitosa and Noel were in the middle, and it went over both their heads.
So, I mean, if you're Gal there, you're focused on Feitosa and Noel, and then Jacasson comes from the left side with that beautiful flying volley. And remember when I talked about getting the launch angle down a little bit and shooting a little bit lower? Well, you don't have to worry when you do stuff like that. What a play.
Yeah, it didn't really apply on that one. This one played into Feitosa, who knocks over Gowell.
7, 6.
Feitosa
Does offer him a hand, so no bad blood between the two.
Feitosa has not shied away in this first half from being involved. First game back, he's already ready to go. 4 shots, 2 on goal.
Only 5 seconds to go till the half. Thinking that we'll get this one put in play and then hear the whistle pretty soon after with minimal action.
Yellow card shown to the Howard bench.
Referee discussing something with the Howard bench.
4, 3.
Put into play.
2, 1.
Header up, and that is the half.
We've completed first half.
Pitt leading 1-0 as we go to the break. And Nick, what have you seen that you think either of these teams will keep? Samuel Adeji going to take the opening kick for Howard. Only goal of the first half was a fantastic piece of talent from Bertrand Jacasson, flying volley just around the 18 at eye level to give this game its only goal. Score is currently 1-0. See a little cheeky fake from Oladeji. Catch the Pitt attackers offside. And Howard working from the back. That one was almost taken away by Lucchini. And Howard plays one up towards Oladeji, but it's snatched by Van der Sar. Howard keeps looking for those long through balls, just trying to create chaos on the offensive end.
Looking for that or a bad rebound. There's those slide tackles. Again, those have been effective for them, but hot water for sure. Playing with fire when you play with the slide tackle a lot. That's clearly been a key part of their strategy thus far.
Yeah, Howard, when you try to play that aggressive, disruptive style of soccer, things are going to get a little chippy. You're going to get called for fouls. Howard with 9 fouls in the early going, but a throw-in in the offensive zone for the Bison.
It's been a good start for Howard right now in terms of that ball position. They're actually getting
This
an
one's
ability.
crossed in the middle, but does not find the head of a Bison. But they do maintain possession.
They do, and they're having an opportunity here to kind of play a little bit of finesse and see what almost develops to them, but that's a costly turnover.
Bryson Baker looked like he might be looking to shoot after that first touch, but it's taken too long. And Pitt gets another turnover. That one he'll be thinking about that one for a minute till they get the ball back. Lucchini plays it out to Rosa, who has a lot of space, looking for a cross in the direction of Noel, but good slide by the Howard back. And Pitt gonna get their 8th corner of the match already. Pitt with the advantage in corners, 8-0.
And you figure one of those is going to strike Pater eventually.
Yeah, just throw so much at the wall, eventually one will stick. Mirkovic been taking the corners all day. He'll take this one, headed wide by Jackson Gilman. That's his 2nd missed header off a set piece of the day. And Gowell will be taking another goal kick.
Had 13 shots now on the day for Pitt. 4 different players with 2+ shots. Gilman obviously in that group.
13 shots, only 4 on goal.
Feitosa with 4, Jacasson 3, got Mirkovic with 2. It's really spread the wealth along We've talked about how they started out in that first half playing up the right side, now on the left side.
Jacasone plays up to Feitosa in the corner, trying to get around a man, but ends up switching the field over to Gilman. Plays up to Mirkovic, almost loses the touch.
Mirkovic got yanked there, and he's looking for a foul.
Yeah, doesn't get the foul, but Pitt does maintain possession on the ball out of bounds. Throw taken by Rosa into Noel. Here's Lucchini looking to play one in the middle, but it deflects out of bounds. This one will be yet another corner for the Panthers.
And Pitt's playing they're playing with that right winger. It's been Noel, it's been Lucchini, it's been Rosa at different points thus far in the second half. So they're mixing that up a little bit personnel-wise.
Could see this one go short. Jacasone standing right next to Mirkovic, but it goes in over everybody's head. And Gilman is going to have to take it and reset, which is exactly what he does. Goes back to the captain, Jackson Walty. Jackson Walty is flying around the pitch today, being asked to do a lot.
He really is, and again, he is the facilitator of all facilitators for Pitt, and that's a heck of a play right there by J.R. Gow.
That one was crossed in by, looked like Lucchini, but Feitosa was offsides.
Again, who set it up? Jackson Walty. Right in the center field, man. I mean, that has been the big thing for Walty all day, and really his whole Pitt career, and why he is the captain. It's because he just understands spacing. He understands how to create those opportunities better than anyone else on this pitch.
Very tactically sound player. Mirkovic looking for Jacasone on the through ball. Looked like he might have been offside or the lane wasn't there. So Pitt completely resets and goes back to Vandersar.
Good news for Pitt, the rain is definitely slowed down here. It's
still
about slowed to a spit right now.
Yeah, there's a bit of a mist going, but not as bad as it was during halftime. Jacasone plays a through ball to Feitosa, puts one on goal, and it's off the side. Hitting the net, but does not go in.
And the reason I say that's good news for Pitt is because of how they've played. Now they don't need to play through the middle, right? They can open it up to the sides that they've wanted to. And again, it doesn't necessarily play into what Howard has wanted to do, because I think that sloppy, wet style of soccer is what fits with the brand of play we have seen thus far from the Bison thus far. And so Pitt probably benefits from the clear conditions a little bit more, but that pitch is definitely still a little bit slippery, and you can see guys kind of losing their footing every now and then. Not as much cutting and finesse. It's more curved lines and straight running, and this is a beautiful pass.
Getting things where you can. This one's out to Lucchini, to Mirkovic. Pass is intercepted by Gonzalo.
And you can see that chemistry between Mirkovic and Lucchini still definitely needing to be developed. I don't think that they have that kind of telepathic feel of where each other's going.
Jacasone plays to Noel, who goes back to Jacasone. Pass too far in front, and it's cleared away by Alex Taylor.
Really solid play there by Howard. Just consistently disrupting. It's like there's almost a box right around, well, the box, to be quite honest with you. They have done a really nice job. It's like a bubble around there, because they have done a great job of making sure Pitt is frustrated once they reach that area. Again, it's that bend, don't break style.
Yeah, Howard has been excellent at being annoying so far.
They have.
Letting Pitt get so close, but never really able to break through in a conventional way.
And again, the one goal of the game is an insane shot.
The one goal of the game is one that we are not going to see again in these last 40 minutes.
Certainly. And so if you're Howard, you got to feel good about yourself right now. And now they're going to have the opportunity to maybe slow things down and see what they can get out of this free kick.
That foul go on Valentin Noel. Howard might be looking to push this one up the sides. That's what they do.
And credit to Lucchini. They've tried to attack him on that right side a lot when they have gotten their chances, and I think Lucchini's done a really nice job.
Jacasone gets a turnover. Mirkovic is going to play it out to Lucchini. Looking in the middle for Feitosa, who hits one, and it's just not wide. It went in the goal. It looked like, from the players' reactions, it looked like that one didn't go in, but it sneaks past Gowell and hits up 2-0.
That was an odd hooking play. I don't know if Feitosa realized it went in at first. I think he almost thought
he did.
I think he thought it went wide, but that's a beautiful crosser right there. And you talk about a gorgeous assist. Well, Feitosa with a sweet touch off the left foot. And he's been so good today again. Coming back into the lineup, 6 shots, 1 goal. He had 5 goals and he had 6 assists a year ago. Uber productive now as a sophomore. He's a wiser player. And you can tell that because he's playing into the team's philosophy a little bit better than he did last year. And then Lucchini, obviously, you cannot ignore what a great pass that was from the right corner. And that's why they've been working through him. He shows off why Jay Vidovich said, we're going to work through you.
Yeah. Feitosa getting his first goal of the season in his first full game action. Subs coming in for Pitt following the goal. Rodrigo Almeida coming in for the man who just got the point, Guilherme Feitosa. And Michael Sullivan is in the game for Josh Lucchini. So Jay Vidovich pulling off the 2 parts of that goal, but they certainly made their contribution while they were on the field.
Yeah, Lucchini and Feitosa out of there. And if you're Feitosa, still working back to full participation, obviously. 14 minutes against Marshall. Now played over 50 in this game. Davidovich not putting too much on him. And if you're Lucchini, a successful day, certainly getting the start and showing why you were trusted with being a critical part of the game plan. And now Rodrigo Almeida's here to show off his dribbling skills.
Some of the first fresh sets of legs we've seen from Pitt. No substitutions up until now.
It's a great play up the side. Right there by Peter Gonzalo. Disrupting what Almeida was trying to do.
Almeida, another one of those players for Pitt that is a great facilitator, very tactically sound, able to move around a lot.
Very crafty as well, which it seems like all these Pitt attackers are, but they're so crafty with their ability to create opportunities.
Jackson Lewis clears that one out. Throw is going to be taken by the Panthers. Jacasone plays a nice ball in, saved by Gowell on the shot. That looked like Valentin Noel, but Gowell been busy back there, made a few nice saves today, and he'll add that one to the collection.
He has, and he's been a fighter here against Pitt. I think he's put up a really solid performance. You could see the discipline he plays with. Pitt's getting him about all he could handle, and Valentin Noel's been right up on him more than enough, and still denied thus far. He certainly stood up to the test.
That one was headed right for the near top corner. Pitt kind of backed into a corner right now. Played back to Vandersar to give it a boot. This one is going to stay with Pitt after a nice head by Noel. Rosa looking for a through ball. He's got Jacasone, and here's Sullivan in space. But Gowell is going to scoop this one up. That one got past the Howard defense. There was nobody between Sullivan and the keeper, but the ball ultimately goes to the goalie.
And something people will overlook when you talk about the physical stop play, it doesn't just wear down the offense. It also wears down the defense. And Howard's worn down a little bit. And Pitt's just got a little bit more juice right now, it appears. And that's why they're kind of just breaking through just a little bit more. But Howard still stood up pretty well thus far in this second half. It's been an impressive performance.
There's been a lot more of the long clearances by Howard in this half. maybe starting to get a little tired.
It could be getting a little bit more tired. It could be Pitt finally figuring out maybe how to exploit what they're doing. Maybe they see something. But really, again, both of those goals, a great flying volley by Jacasson, and then a gorgeous crosser from Lucchini to Feitosa.
And Feitosa snuck one in the bottom corner that looked like he didn't even know it went in. This one's going to go to Jackson Walty, who will take a shot, goes right to the keeper. But Walty, not usually a contributor in the shots category, put one on net there.
Yeah, not usually a guy that does that. Again, he's more of a guy that sets things up. But he saw an opportunity, he took it. And credit to Howard, too, for being cognizant of that rebound, because that ball could have easily gone right back to Walty, and they could have been in the fire zone again. But they cleared it out, and now Pitt has to reset the whole thing again. So that's part of why Howard has fought so well in this game, is because they've been very disciplined in the fundamentals, watching rebounds.
Particularly with the weather, you are going to get a lot more rebounds. Harder for the keeper to corral it when it's raining as hard as it is.
Certainly.
Nice play by Mirkovic. Ball finds its way back to him. He's going to take a shot with his right foot, and it's in the bottom corner. Sneaks past Gowell, and Mirkovic saw a lane along the ground and took it. Pitt leads 3-0 in the 59th minute.
And this is the impressive nature of what Pitt has done thus far in the second half. They're starting to flex their midfielders and what they are able to do, and their wingers and how they can create. Because Mirkovic, good passing to get to that point, but I mean, that was a one-on-one essentially, and he just sauced the entire Howard defense and shot a ringer right into the corner. I mean, that's just a gorgeous shot there by Mirkovic. And again, we talk about this. Mirkovic and Feitosa have made their mark on this game. Pitt was missing them. It still went 2-1 in those 3 ranked matches. They're missing for 2 of those 3 games. Feitosa for nearly all 3. And so when Feitosa gets a goal in 6 shots and Mirkovic gets a goal on 3 shots, that's impressive.
Yeah, both of them putting points on the board in really their first games back. Not to be lost in this, Valentin Noel credited with the assist there. That gives him a point in each of Pitt's first 4 matches to start the season.
Well, if you can't score the goal, make sure you set up other guys, and that's something that every great midfielder needs to be able to do. Is if they have magnetism, and obviously he does, Valentin Noel has to be watched at all times. You set up others for it, and Noel does that very well.
This one is cleared away by Abulnadi, but it's out for a corner. First corner of the match for Howard. So a little bit of a mystery here. Don't know exactly what they're going to do in this situation. Haven't seen this in these first 60 minutes. But the Bison gearing up for an offensive set piece.
It's always very interesting to see if you have a corner this late into the game and this is your first corner, how you attack the set piece.
This one's played in. Goal's open, and shot is just missed.
And Jordan.
By Rufiel. Or it may have been Jordan.
I think it was Jordan, Julian. And that one was about as close as you could get.
Yeah, Vandersar was off his line after coming out to try and deflect the corner. Was an open goal, just wide. Howard still zeros on the scoreboard.
It's about as close as you can get without getting on goal. It just feels like Howard right now, even if you lose this game, Howard with no goals in their first 2 games, you really just want to get that off your back. You really want to get that first goal in the net and get some positive momentum going.
Great pass by Gilman up to Rosa. And intercepted by Almeida, keeping the danger in the area. Working back and forth with Rosa and Noel. Pitt with a lot of movement in these tight areas. bit of a miscommunication gives the ball back to the Bison.
And how impressive has Jackson Gilman been, the freshman, showcasing his ability both as an attacker and as a passer. Very impressive stuff from the freshman.
Yeah, great passing from that back line, always helpful when all levels of your team can facilitate and move the ball. Again, Pitt still dominating possession. Seeing a lot of them in the offensive third of Howard, but a turnover here. Ball goes in the middle to Noel to Almeida. Had Rosa on the edge, but gets delayed a little bit. This is played in. Almeida's going to take a shot, and it's going to go wide right on the ground. Tough shot, particularly in the rain, hitting the half volley from outside the 18, but he saw his opportunity and he took it.
Well, off the rebound, too, again. The rebound has been a pretty big factor in this one in terms of Pitt keeping possession of it, then Howard clearing in other areas. But Almeida nearly created an opportunity for himself to score just by corralling that one.
Pitt playing out the back. Gilman looking up to Rosa, who's gotten a lot of action. As you've talked about earlier, Pitt playing up the right, and that has been Lucas Rosa mostly in this second half. Here's Michael Sullivan on the attack. Gets a touch in, almost solos past everybody, but the danger's not clear yet. Valentin Noel shoots, and it's deflected away. Pitt looking for a handball. But it is just going to be a corner. Noel not happy. I don't know if that was a handball or
I think
he's looking for a foul.
Yeah, I think he said he got yanked down in the middle there by Julian. And that's what he's looking for.
Noel going to leave the game now. Coming in to replace him is Luis Samkow. Samkow had an assist in Pitt's match against Marshall this past Friday on their only goal of the game. This one's played in by Mirkovic, but only Howard able to get ahead on it. Abelnadi almost loses his touch, but able to get it back out to the winger. Oh, nice turn by Mirkovic, who's going to play in a cross now. No one able to get a foot on it, but here's a shot from Gilman, saved by Howard. And Pitt going to have to try again. Nick Pitt getting the couple rebounds there, but again, none of them going in.
It's just opportunity after opportunity right now for Pitt. Look at that crosser nearly getting in, but one thing Howard's done pretty consistently is they've been able to clear the box really well. A lot of those opportunities that Pitt has had.
Ball played down to Gilman, crosses up, open goal. Rosa heads it wide.
And there again, you clear the box really well. Again, 2 of the 3 goals have really come from outside the box. If that opportunity is coming from inside that box, I think they've done a really nice job of allowing J.R. Gallo to kind of do his thing. And these backline defensemen for Howard have really stepped up there. I think you have to be really encouraged if you are Howard by how your backline has played in that area of the field specifically.
Yeah, they have. Their strategy has really only allowed 1 goal. Corner played in to the back post, bouncing ball in the middle. Here's a shot just over the bar by Lucas Rosa. That was a rocket.
And Pitt's done a pretty good job on those set pieces of trying to get those rebounds and maintain possession, but that's another aspect of their really good defense down in the box. I feel like when you look at Howard, they've defended set pieces really well. Again, they faced 10 corners and not a single goal off those corners because they've done a really nice job of loading the box and disrupting those lanes.
Gal getting a sip of water before putting this one into play. He's had to make about 12 plays in a row in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, 6 saves, 4 in this half alone. So a lot has been on him. Hit up to 12 shots in this half.
Yeah, it's been a non-stop offensive attack for the Panthers. Howard moving it up from the back in the direction of this one is going to go out. That was in the direction of Brian Ballard, winning his team a free kick after getting fouled by Sullivan. Some confusion on this set piece.
See the referee heading over to Pitt's bench here.
Don't know what exactly is going on. Jackson Walty getting a sip of water.
Looks like he's talking to Jay Vidovich here. Not sure what it's about, but clock's still running.
Yeah, this is a pretty significant stoppage. Would have thought that they would stop the clock. I think that's more than a minute just came off the clock. Weird, but looks like we're about to get underway again. Everybody set back up, and the ball's in play. Turnover, Sam Cow in front of everybody. Mirkovic looking for Almeida. Doesn't have a lane to him, but goes out to Lucas Rosa, who is going to go out to Almeida. Nice turn. Left-footed shot. Just off. Cleared away by Ballard. Here's Jackson Walty. Howard trying to quickly get it up to Oladeji, but well intercepted by the Pitt defense. And once again, they're going to be able to work from the back after a failed counterattack.
And that's been such a key aspect of this all, is how effectively they have worked out of the back.
Yeah, that back line passing has been rock solid. I can think of
Gilman in particular has been a real catalyst. Him and Jackson Walty have had a surgical connection up through the middle, where Walty has been able to distribute it up the field to the whatever side. That's really been the catalyst for a lot of what Pitt's been able to do.
Yeah, I can only think of maybe one time that they turned the ball over in a situation like that as well.
That might have been the one. But they haven't allowed any leaks in that back half, and that's been the big thing, because I think that's what Howard was banking on a lot, is, okay, maybe the back half can mess up and they can get a quick go away that maybe is a 2-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and that just hasn't happened yet. Those 3-on-3s have happened mostly through long through balls, and that's just not as high percentage as a bad turnover in the back half.
Cross was into Christian, but it's headed back to Vandersar, and Pitt looking for a quick attack as well. Through ball to Lucas Rosa. He's got space. And he fails to pull this one back in. He'll be kicking himself for that.
Gonzalo's
got past
down.
the defender.
That's Peter Gonzalo down, I think, for Howard.
He is Howard midfielder down, grabbing his right leg. Looks like Jackson Walty's helping him, maybe trying to pop something back in place.
Maybe a cramp as well. Could always be a concerning factor here.
Looks to be in some pain. Ref motioning to have someone come look at him. We finally do get some movement on the Howard sideline. Looks like Gonzalo's doing a little better. Now no longer laying on the ground.
It's always tough in these types of conditions as well. Especially when you're playing on turf in a wet environment,
Yeah, it gets pretty slick.
it gets pretty slick. And
Easy to go
also,
down.
it's not just, say, you know, a rainy type of environment where it's cool. It's a very muggy type of environment. So you're still going to get the effects of a hot type of day. You're probably not wet just from rain. You're probably sweating too. And that can really build up that ability to cramp up. And so that's hopefully all this is for Gonzalo.
So he is up,
And hopefully all it
walking
is,
a little gingerly on that right leg.
and again, hopefully
it's-
all this is a cramp, because
Yeah.
these conditions, these muggy type of conditions, can really bring those cramps out.
His gait has gotten noticeably better even as he walked from where he was down towards the sideline. So
That's always a good sign.
I think you might be right that it was a cramp. So he'll probably sit down for a few minutes at least.
And Jelani Pierre will come in for him.
I have a feeling we might only see Jelani Pierre the rest of the game, given the situation. Gowl able to quickly get a ball out. Howard working from the back. Good ball movement, getting Pitt out of position. As Noah Hall is in the game for the Panthers. Freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
It's always good to get your young guys some experience in these types of games as well. And Hall's had a little bit of playing time this year.
Yeah, but it's been pretty sparse.
It has. And he's played in 2 games this far, but only 14 minutes. So there's a good chance here he plays tonight longer than he has in any of the previous 3 combined.
Leonardo Andrade in the game as well. Howard getting the throw deep in the zone, almost a corner. This one's crossed into the middle. Sam Cow able to clear it. And taking the ball up for Pitt. Got rid of it to Almeida, but that is Mateo Stoka getting some action as well. Noah Hall with a nice turn, and he is fouled, knocked over in the corner. Could we see the card come out of the pocket? Doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. But Pitt going to get another free kick in an advantageous area.
Yeah, this is a really good spot, too. Essentially a short corner kick for Pitt, so a lot of options for them here.
That was Ashry Settles on the foul. Didn't look very intentional, looked frustrated that it was called the way it was, but definitely did knock over Hall. Almeida plays it in. Not really sure what that one was. Kind of hit that one harder than he was intending, I'd reckon. The ball sails out harmlessly for a goal kick.
Hall just put a little bit too much busted on that one. You can see it just float, but Pitt is continuing to still put that pressure on, and you can see it may not be as surgical as it was before, but these young players are athletic, they're creative, they're shifty. They certainly create opportunities.
This is Andrade playing it back towards Gilman. Miscommunication. Almeida lets it get through, but Noah Hall finds himself on the end of it, looking for an opportunity. Plays it over towards Sullivan, but taken by. Ends up with Walty. Sam Cow with a turn, trying to get past everybody, gets past about half of them. Nice tackle by Galliana to keep the ball with Pitt.
There's that strong defense in the lower third from Howard yet again.
A couple players slide into each other. Howard player slow to get up, but he is on his feet. Noah Hall working to the corner. He'll cross it in towards Sam Cow, but he misses it, hits the wrong foot, and goes wide.
Hall's been like a shot of lightning into this offense right now. Just
some fresh legs.
How fast he's playing. That was a gorgeous cross.
He put that right where he needed to. Sam Cow just missed it.
Great play from the freshman. And you could see, I mean, that's a one-on-one matchup on that right side right now between him and Gaines. And
seen a lot of faces on that right side for Pitt tonight, but all of them have performed admirably.
They certainly have. It's a tough one if you are Howard, and specifically Ramaz's Gaines. Like, that has been a tough matchup for him.
Through ball goes to Walty. One defender to beat. Ends up getting turned around. Ball along the side looked like it went out, and it did. Or didn't go out. Actually going to be a foul called. Howard takes the free kick, gets up quickly, but heads it where he thought there was somebody. But Pitt does get the ball back. Just under 15 minutes left to play here at Ambrose Urbanic. Pitt leads Howard by a score of 3-0 on a rainy night here.
Here goes Pitt working through the back again. When Howard has had opportunities, Pitt's done a great job not allowing that penetration. And then such disciplined work by the center backs, but even working up the sides now.
Back to Jackson Gilman. Pitt has pulled a lot of starters to get some young guys minutes, but Jackson Gilman, true freshman starter for this back line, is still in the game.
It's one of those cases of a young guy that is playing all the time and playing with a lot of veterans, but still needs that experience, still adjusting to the college game. As much experience as you can get for a guy like Gilman, it will help him in the long run.
Sam Cow over to Sullivan. Walty, the captain, still in the game as well. Here's an opportunity. Nice tackle by Oladeji. Good slide. You can tell that that was got exactly where he needed to go. But Pitt does get a corner.
They do, but Oladeji might just save the goal. So that's a trade-off you'll have, especially with how well Howard's done against these set pieces, especially the corner kicks. And Oladeji has been one of those bright spots today for Howard. Really, really strong defender that has, quite frankly, ruined a lot of the opportunities that Pitt has had in their zone and has made things a lot harder on the Panthers.
More subs coming in for Pitt. Galliana, Gilman, and Walty are out. And Abdulatif, Shefketi are in for them. Another shot for Pitt. This one is in. That one was snuck through by Matisse Lefebvre. And Pitt extends their lead to 4-0, coming right in the game, making an impact.
Yeah, Lefebvre came in about 30 seconds ago, and he wasted no time going there. And that, again, working in the center field position, that's where Walty usually done. And Walty's a bit more of a tentative shooter than Lefebvre, showing that he is not tentative at all. He saw an opening, let it rip. It did it.
You talk about making an immediate impact. He was in the game for 29 seconds, and a lot of that was before the ball was in play.
I mean, that was his first action all season. We're not just talking about of the game. So that is some serious stones to come in and do that. But Matisse Lefebvre definitely has some confidence in his ability, showcased right there, and he reaps the benefits of it.
For 24, Jackson Walty, 16, Enrique Galliana, and 2, Jackson Gilman.
Vandersar playing this one up. Pitt got the young guys in. Here's Noah Hall on the right side again. He's been a busy man. Plays in across towards Almeida. Takes a touch too long, and it's cleared out. Sullivan going to save it before it leaves the field of play, though. He's fouled in the corner. Knocked over as he attempted to go for that through ball.
These young guys definitely feeling out the process right now for Pitt. Hall with a little bit of a sloppy pass to Almeida, but has been fun to watch, no doubt about that.
This one played in by Pitt, ultimately gets away. Yellow card was just on Ashley Settles for that foul in the corner. But the free kick goes out of bounds, and another goal kick for Howard.
And that was the 4th yellow card for Howard on the day. So, again, that physicality for them has reaped a lot of benefits. It certainly kept this more competitive for a longer period of time, but also gotten into some contentious situations because of those fouls.
Substitution for 34, John Hickok.
Yeah, you said this match was closer than you thought. This series has had its history of blowouts. Their last meeting in 2016 ended in a 6-0 victory for Pitt. So this one looking a little better on the score sheet for the Bison with 10 minutes to go. Playing out the back, the Pitt just starting to sit back and let Vandersar hold the ball as the pressure from Howard has dissipated a little as the game has gotten less close.
Yeah, and as you are Howard right now, though, you're down 4-0. Obviously, with 10 minutes left against the number 2 team in the nation, you're not expecting to come out of this one with that victory. But I think if you are Howard, the one aim you probably should have is try to get the ball in the net because, again, you're trying to break that dry spell. Try to get anything. Try to get some sustained possessions. But
here's a turnover. Almeida taking it up. Looking for someone to pass to. Going to go to the right in the direction of Abdulatif. Playing in the cross. Samkow trying to get ahead on it. But it's cleared out by Howard.
Yeah, a little bit of an odd play because Shefketi hit the ground. He was looking for a foul. And, oh, man. Big-time collision here.
Shoulder-to-shoulder contact there. That one is going to go in as a foul.
It's Andrade and
Rufael
colliding there. Though both playing for the ball. Definitely nothing malicious there. Just an unfortunate collision between both of those guys.
Happens. This one's played in. Samkow almost able to put that header in, but it sails over the bar.
It certainly seems like Luis Samkow has been just about close.
You could tell he's frustrated with himself. He's missed a few opportunities, and he took an extra second on the ground just to talk to himself.
Something about that left midfielder spot today has been a little frustrating. Noel hasn't been able to cash in, and neither has Samkow, but both those guys still playing at a high level and creating opportunities. Let's hear from the Panthers again.
Noel did have an assist, but not able to put one of his own in the back of the net. Here's Pitt player dispossessed by the defender, and Howard trying to go up on a quick counter again. This is Mason Christian, has the ball taken from him by Shefketi. And Pitt looking to set something up again.
The key thing for Howard offensively, with only 3 shots, it's been where those 3 shots have come from. Oladeji with 1, Settles with 1.
Howard getting the ball forward in midfield, but it's taken away by Samkow.
And Rufael with 1. 0 for Bryson Baker, which has been, I think, a significant factor in this game.
Yeah, Pitt done very well to shut down the offensive attack from, you talked about Baker and Oladeji, only one shot between the two of them. Here's an opportunity for Sullivan, looking to maybe put one on goal. Cuts back, gets the defender to slide, but has the ball taken from him by Pierre. Andrade moving forward. Calling for a through ball, doesn't get one.
Some of the most impressive stuff about the defense that Howard's played today is how they've defended well on angles. I think that's been really impressive. And kind of how disciplined they've been in that regard. Pitt's created a lot of opportunities just because of their great ball pressers, but I do think there's a lot to go back to and watch from Howard today, and you could take a lot of positives from your performance, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, Pitt definitely been a steel trap at the back with how much they've had the ball on Howard's half of the field. A stoppage in play here. A Howard player is down. Looks like that was Brian Ballard, but he is up and walking.
Again, late in the game. That's another thing you obviously hope for. You leave this place with no injuries at this point. And hopefully these are just cramps.
Ballard looks pretty much okay, but still sub going to come in for him is Stallings.
Take the precautions at this point. It could be as minor as a cramp. And hopefully that's all these are.
Yeah, it's the 84th minute.
It really is. And again, the game is 4-0. If it was 0-0, 1-0, or a close game, that's a little bit different. But this one's 4-0. Both of these teams have conference games coming up next. And so even if you're Howard, you're 0-3, right? But still have the conference slate that is wide open. So, and then for Pitt, obviously here, you're trying to test out a few things before North Carolina. You go to Chapel Hill. Pitt goes to Chapel Hill.
North Carolina always a tough out.
That will always be a tough out for Pitt. And we know the ACC schedule. It's never an easy one. Friday at North Carolina.
ACC always great at soccer.
And they come back home against NC State.
Well, this one touched forward quickly, but played back to the middle of the field, looking for a switch. Andrade going to Hall on that right wing. He's been busy since coming in. But Pitt more than content. Not necessarily trying to push the ball forward here. With 5 minutes left in a lead like this, happy to sit and pass it around until something opens up. This one's turned over. Pass was intercepted by Leggett. But Pitt quickly getting the ball back.
It seems like even when Pitt makes a turnover, they just do a great job to repossess the ball. Again, their back line has been rock solid today.
This one played into Hall, finds himself in a good spot, plays in a shot, but saved by Gow. Another one of those great plays. That's his 7th save of the night. He has allowed 4, but those 7 saves have been great.
So many opportunities.
12th corner of the match for Pittsburgh here. They hold a 12-1 advantage. This one is headed in by Andrade in some of his first action of the season. The true freshman puts one on the board for the Panthers.
His first career goal, too. Got to feel that moment. Anyone coming into the college level and getting their first goal, that's a big moment. Pitt finally connects on one of those corners. You feel like it was coming at some point.
And That was a textbook corner as well. Just play it right into the middle of the box, get ahead on it.
And from who else other than Rodrigo has showcased that ability on corners, crossers, to have a phenomenal left foot. That was a great job by Almeida, kicking right off where he left off last year in that regard.
First points of the season for both those players. Almeida on the assist, Andrade on the goal. Score is 5-0 with just a few left to play. Howard starting to push forward, try to put one on the scoreboard at least. Andrade goes to Almeida in a reverse of what the goal just was. Nice move by Almeida, who has his jersey grabbed by Taylor. And that one is going to get called a foul every time, and Taylor knew it. And the card is going to come out of the pocket for that one. 5th yellow of the match for Howard.
Again, all 5 on different players. Again, that's been a team mentality, that physicality, that edge. Howard's followed their game plan by the book from minute 0 to minute 90.
Yeah, they definitely don't mind getting called for a few fouls. If they did, they would have, quite frankly, they would have stopped. But this is the brand of defense that they try to play.
Well, Philip Zhao clearly set this out to his team to want to play with that physical nature, and they followed through on it. Again, they haven't been dissuaded even by 5 yellow cards, so they are fighting in it. And there was a head knocking right there in the midfield. That was not great between.
Yeah, Shefketi colliding with.
That was Christian.
Everyone seems to be all right. Might be some bumps on foreheads when those guys wake up in the morning, but seems like everybody's doing okay. This one's played in by Howard in the direction of Julian. But it is cleared away. Pitt gonna take the throw in no hurry. Willing to let the clock run for a couple seconds as we hit the 2-minute mark left in this match. Jersey of Stoka grabbed again, and that's going to be yellow card number 6 of the match on Howard. That was Roman Stallings.
And Pitt's just gotten in transition later in this match so much. Just trying to slow down the pace a little bit if you're Howard. And that's a costly turnover there by Hall.
Yeah, he knew it too. You could see him kind of smiling, laughing at himself. He knows he should have had that one. Howard with a little give and go action, snuffed out by Lefebvre. But now that Julian's back in the game, that pressure is back. Even with just over a minute left, Howard's still pressing forward to try to get that first goal of the season. Almeida finds himself in space, has a man to the right. Might be looking to take it himself.
1 minute remaining in regulation.
Does end up with Sullivan. Noah Hall a little back and forth with Shefketi.
Pitt slowing it down a little bit here in the final minute of regulation.
Yeah, this may be the really last possession of the game, Pitt just allowing something to open up. Here's Hall playing in a cross, back heel by Sam Cow. Put it on goal, but it was knocked away by Haithcock. Nice sliding play to keep that one out of the goal.
Again, that's something we've seen. We've seen
And
a
with-
few really nice plays.
With a few seconds left, Pitt's going to try to put number 6 on the board.
6,
Played into the middle, and it's cleared out.
3, 2,
That is going to do it for us here at Ambrose Urbanic Field. Almost a goal just for fun at the end. But Pitt is going to win this one 5-0 over Buffalo.